Episode 56, 5-1 TV theme songs.
That girl,
Hey,
girl
you said Donald Duck.
Donald the Duck.
You didn't say Donald the Duck.
I only say Daffy the Duck.
Oh, that's just as weird.
Daffy the Duck sounds
Daffy the Duck.
that's better.
Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
Cookie Monster, good job. Okay, you heard about through word of mouth. Big Bird is out. He's in the house. He turning up with Snuffle Up. They really getting their hustle up. Cause they stick together like Velcro. There's Grover Goat. There's Elmo and Cookie Monster. There, look, he likes to take selfies with his cell phone. They got a homegirl named Abby. Her last name is Kadabi. I showed her my report card. She said,
not too shabby.
they got all types of cool kids there. It's lots of fun if you live there. But one thing I keep forgetting about Sesame Street, how do you get there?
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of 5-1. 5-1 is all about the countdown from our panel of experts on a different topic each week. Today, we are featuring the best TV theme songs in our style of counting down from
5 to 1.
So, full disclosure, I listened to another podcast from the NeoZaz network. It's called Best of Fives, and it has a very similar premise to our show. They count down top 5 lists. And I discovered that show because I grew to enjoy the personalities of the hosts from other shows I listened to on that same NeoZaz network, like Star Wars in Character and The Grady's, which is the great 80s podcast debate. But for any fans of the 80s, you should check this show out. They take movies from the 80s and they review the movie and they give it a score from when they saw it in the 80s originally and then again today when they rewatched it, and they pretty much determine if that movie holds up over the test of time. It's really interesting. But recently, the Best of Five show did a Best Sitcoms episode, and we have been discussing doing this TV theme show song episode for a while now. We've put it off several episodes in a row. And I thought, well, this would be a good time because listening to their show kind of got me in the mood thinking about these shows, and we'd been talking about it for a while. So we thought, hey, it's a good time to do it. Also, we've been on another long break from the recording studio. The 2 episodes we just released were actually recorded forever ago. So it's been a while since we were in here, and I'm eager to have fun on this episode to get us back into the swing of things. How about you guys?
Yeah.
All right, before we go any further, we should probably introduce our panel of themed experts. I'm Chris, and I'm joined by my 2 catchy sons.
Cade Moore.
My 13-year-old, almost 14.
And I am Jet.
I'll be 14 in 8 whole days.
My 11-year-old, and we are
5 to 1.
You're right. It's in 8 days you'll be 14. Are you excited for your birthday?
Yeah. It's 1 year closer to my license, and I can get a job.
Yeah?
And when I'm 14.
Not really.
No, not really.
Isn't like the average like 16?
The law is 16, but there are some places where you can earlier.
Like Chick-fil-A.
I don't know about that. Anyways, did you guys have any rules for your list when you put it together?
No.
You just thought
I
of
didn't.
all TV shows? You didn't like...
I wanted to include one of every kind of.
So like between animated and sitcom
That's what-
and...
anime. And
Oh, great.
I put like some are kids shows.
Yeah.
And
I wanted-
some are adult shows.
Okay.
I wanted at least one from Disney and one from Nickelodeon each.
Okay.
One like sitcom, and anime.
Okay, so you have some diversity on your list.
Same here.
Mine, I didn't really have any rules. I just kind of... I
you
didn't want to pick a whole bunch of the exact same type of show, but I do have some similar ones. So, also, we're changing up our format for today. We're going to go right into the list and put all the other stuff after. So, for our listeners, if you are looking forward to the fun fact of the week or feedback or any of that, it will come after our lists. Right?
Yes.
All right, let's go. Cade, what's your number 5? Yeah, I had no idea what this is.
It's Johnny Test.
It's not Johnny Test. It's Total Drama Island. I can't say the show was very good, but I really enjoyed the theme song, and like it made me like the show better. So the show was like they get a bunch of random like all types of people, like the stereotypes of people, and they throw them all on an island, and they have to survive. But like they have to like go through like fun challenges and stuff.
Okay.
And it's really kind of stupid, but
So
it's really funny.
What makes you like the song though? Not just is it because
it's
you
catchy.
like the show?
It's catchy, yeah.
Okay.
It's catchy, and like when you hear the song, you're like, oh, I like the song, and then you're like, oh, I like the show too. And
Oh.
it's like,
Interesting. Okay.
it's like, it's also a good show to fall asleep to.
And it's animated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gotcha. Cool.
This is Cartoon Network.
Okay, nice. So, Jed, is this your number 5?
No.
Okay, it's not Friends.
But yes, it is.
Turn your volume up a little bit. There you go. All right, so Friends is your number 5.
Yeah.
This is a good one. I thought about it. It's not on my list.
Same here.
I looked at some of the ones of all time, and this was number 1 on some.
Really? That's very surprising.
Or it was number 1 or number 10 on some of them.
Number 1 or number 10?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's a fun one to sing. You know, when you hear this show, it's like this song is very much attached to this show. It is a real song. They actually played this on the radio. I think it's by the Rembrandts. But when you hear the song, like, you automatically think Friends, and you're ready for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And there's like the iconic,
Yeah, the clap. That's the best part for
Yeah.
sure.
and like people do like remixes and stuff to that. Like when people get hit by, remember when that girl got hit by a shovel?
Yeah, that was
That
bad.
that looks like it sucked. But like, you know, they do ding 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 ding. Then when they play the song, and it was in Family Guy too, when he was trying to escape prison and he was trying to like bang a rock on like a little pipe, and then like he didn't want to alert the office of like the warden, and
Yeah.
so the warden's watching Friends. So right when the clap goes, he bangs the rock like 4 hard times really hard, and the pipe would break it.
Yeah. Okay. So Friends is your choice, but who is your favorite Friends character? Quick.
Ross.
I said
Phoebe.
quick. Phoebe. Okay. I'm gonna go with Joey. But
We all have
Oh
different
yeah,
ones.
I thought I was thinking
Ross is
Chandler.
really
I was like, I hate Chandler.
Ross is really funny.
Ross is really funny, but I think Joey makes me laugh the most. Anyway. Okay. Cool. Good choice.
Doesn't Joey dodge Ross's punch and breaks his
Yeah.
arm?
He's like, okay, go ahead, hit me. And Ross tries to punch him and he moves anyways. He's like, I'm sorry, I can't help it. And Ross breaks his hand.
Wow,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Funny.
Okay, we'll go on to my number 5. I don't know if you guys know this show or not. I'm going to guess not because it's old, but here's the song. Does this sound familiar?
Nope.
No.
Okay, this is from a show called Growing Pains. Never heard of it?
No, never.
I'm guessing it's about like teenagers.
It's about a family. Yeah, it was one of your late 80s, early 90s sitcoms, which there were a lot of. And I feel like this one actually kind of got lost in that like plethora of late 80s and early 90s family sitcoms because there were a lot of them. But I think because of that, it might be a little underrated. Sound familiar?
No, it doesn't. It sounds kind of weird, though.
Oh, I love this song. I know all the words. I could sing it all the time. But I really love the theme song. And I'm sure most adults know this, but you guys don't since you don't know this show. That's where the very famous actor Leonardo DiCaprio got his start. I mean, he actually had been in a few other things, but kind of made him famous.
Who's Leonardo DiCaprio?
You're kidding me. I hope you're kidding. The show kind of fell off the rails near the end because there were some problems with the actors, but it had a good 7-year run, and I could sing the song all day long. 2 of the main actors, Kirk Cameron is Mike Seaver. He's like the oldest son in the show, and he is the real-life brother to Candace Cameron, who is DJ from Full House. You know who that is? The girl from the oldest daughter from Full House.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's her real life brother, older brother, was Mike Seaver in this show, and he got really religious near the end and like made them do crazy things with the show that kind of wrecked the story. Like he had a girlfriend he was supposed to get married to, and he found out that in real life she'd been a former Playboy model, and because he got really religious, he like forced the writers to write her off the show, and he got a new girlfriend on the show. It's like, okay.
Well, it's kind of awkward because they were getting married.
And then she had to come back on the show for like one episode to do like a makeup with Mike type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the actress had a really hard time doing it, knowing that he was the one who got her kicked off the show.
Oh man.
Yeah. And also the daughter, her name was Carol Seaver. The actress's name was Tracy Gold. She was battling anorexia during the final season of the show. So she was hardly on it at all. And in fact, in the last episode, she's seen holding a piece of pizza like for a long time on the episode. She doesn't take a single bite of it. So it kind of fell off the rails at the end, but it had a good run, and I love the song. So that's my number 5.
So, did it get kind of crappy at the end?
Well, it just kind of lost its way because of the fact that the 2 of the main actors were going through some serious real life struggles that, kind of messed things up for the show.
like Steven Spielberg and George Lucas filming Indiana Jones Temple of
Oh,
Doom.
yeah, but in my opinion, that ended up making a great movie. I mean, it didn't ruin it. It just came out
It didn't
dark.
ruin it, but it wasn't as good as the other ones.
Sure. All right, Cade, what's your number 4?
Okay, this song. When I was making my list, I had a really hard time. It's because like I would find a show that I used to watch a lot and be like, "Oh, I love that show. It's gonna be on my list." I'm like, "Wait, it's not about the show. It's only the theme song."
It's just the song, yeah.
So this song was like the show was okay, but I like the song.
That's how my number 4 is too, by the way. So I'm curious to see what you got here. Is this the Fairly Odd Parents?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is another animated show. This isn't Cartoon Network?
This is Nickelodeon.
Oh, Nickelodeon. Okay.
I used to love the show.
Yeah, you guys used to watch it a lot. It's about a kid who's like in elementary school who has 2 fairy godparents.
Yeah, like
And
the
they're-
show's called like they're his fairy godparents, but they're called the Fairly Odd Parents. 'cause
Yeah, it's a play on words.
I like that.
It is clever. And didn't the show have a lot of Star Wars references in it?
Oh yeah.
Yes, it did.
Like one, like the main like bad guy of the show. There's actually 2, but one of them, he looked just like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And he drove like a giant Death Star ship that was like his head.
Yeah.
And
But you
also,
could clearly tell it was a Death
also they had like a Star Wars special episode for it. Too.
So he had these 2 fairy godparents that basically
They
lived
could
in
do
his,
anything.
they basically lived in his fishbowl, pretended to be fish most of the time so they could hide in plain sight. But they could make his wishes come true. So the premise of basically every episode was that he would make a wish that he really wanted at that second. They would turn out to be disastrous because of the consequences that it had, and then he would have to make things go
'Cause
back
he's
to
kind of
normal
like a
by the
kind
end
of
of the
a-
episode.
He was kind of like a dumb kid, so like when he wished for, he didn't think about what he was like wishing for, and so it would always turn out wrong or something bad would happen.
Right.
And like one of the times he really liked this girl, and he's like, "Man, I wish me and her were the only 2 people on the planet. 'Cause then she'll love me."
Yeah.
And then like
Everybody's gone.
Everyone's gone, and it's going like as he planned, and he liked it. But like she turns out to be like crazy for attention. That's like, it's like you thought he would not like it because he's the only person on the planet, but he doesn't like it because she wants so much attention. It's like
Right.
really annoying.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Good choice for your number 4.
And like the best part of the song is when like it's when he's wanting to. No, the best part of the song is when he's like wishing for like a bunch of things, and it's like going really fast.
Yeah, I know what part you're talking about. Like he talks really quickly. The thing with you're playing your songs off of Spotify, and Spotify often doesn't have the real theme songs. It has
I
like
know.
a cover.
I feel like that's like all of mine.
Yeah, that's okay though because we can tell what it is, and I'm playing mine off of YouTube. I think Jet is too. So
I am.
We got a good mix. All right, Jet, what's your number 4? The Office, right? I like this one. I thought about this one.
I haven't seen the show, but I always love when I hear the theme song.
You haven't seen The Office?
I've only seen a few episodes.
That's really funny.
Should I start it?
Yeah,
Yes.
you'll like it.
But-
Kate's watched all of it, right?
Yeah.
But I love the theme song when I hear it. Like, I always sing along to it.
Yeah.
I finished the whole show like halfway through winter break.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it was over, I watched all of Friends.
Which one did you like better?
I don't know. I mean, The Office is more funny, but Friends is like, I don't know. I feel like I can like fall asleep to Friends too.
I think
More than The
I think
Office.
The Office is funnier. I think Friends is more engaging as far as the character. You probably care about the characters a little bit
Yeah,
more.
I do.
But The Office is good at that too, though, because like you really care about Jim and Pam and their relationship, and
Dwight more than anyone.
Dwight and Creed.
And
Creed's your favorite, right?
Mose is also one
Yeah.
of my favorites.
That's a great show. A really great show. Okay, Jet, I like that as your number 4.
To me, Dwight is really weird.
Well, yeah, that's
Weird
that's
part of
the
his
point.
character. The pranks that Jim plays
gosh,
on
yeah.
Dwight on the show are hilarious.
Yeah, one where he like dresses up just like Dwight, and then like
Oh, he acts
he
like
starts
him all
talking, and
day.
then he goes, bears. What is the best kind of bear? And then Dwight's like, that's kind of not really like a fair question. There's many different aspects of taking, things, and what's it called?
Incorrect.
He goes incorrect, and then Jim goes, bears eat beets. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. And Dwight's like, wait a second, this is not funny. And he goes, well, copying someone is like the most sincere form of
Flattery.
Yeah, flattering. And then he takes out like a little bobblehead, and Dwight goes, he's like, I tell you that was not funny, Jim. Millions of families suffer each year from this. And then Jim goes, Michael! And Dwight goes, Michael. This is my favorite scene ever.
I love that show. It's really great. It's really great. All right. Are you ready for my number 4?
Yeah.
Similar to Cade, This is a show that I don't enjoy all that much, but I love the theme song.
Thank you for being a friend.
I've heard of this. It's like a dog
Down
show.
the road and back again. Your
Heart is true.
You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party,
Invited. You know this song?
I do, yeah.
I know. I've heard it before.
You know the show?
No, I can't.
The biggest gift
What is
would
it?
be. It's the Golden Girls.
Oh, yeah, that's where I know this from.
So the thing about the Golden Girls, I have a little story about this.
That's way more of a girl show. That's why.
Well, the premise is like, it's called the Golden Girls because it's about 4 women who were in their golden age years, like over the age of 50, basically, living together in Florida and having old women adventures. So yeah, you're right. It's not exactly a show geared towards my demographic. However, I have a love-hate relationship with this show and with this song because, as you two are aware, most nights your mother and I fall asleep with the TV on. And most nights, it's me watching a show on Netflix or baseball or a movie as I drift closer to sleep. And your mom is usually already asleep. Okay. And then I fall asleep and I wake up and the channel has changed because she waits till I go to sleep and puts on something else. And typically what she likes to fall asleep to, or be asleep to, I guess, is old reruns that are on like Nick at Night or TV Land, shows that she watched when she was growing up. She just feels comfortable with that on while she sleeps. So I would, for the longest time, I would wake up every day at 6 a.m. and the Golden Girls theme song would be playing because it's just starting and I was just waking up and it was on that channel. And it drove me crazy. I heard it every morning for like a year. And since I never liked that show, though it did have its moments, it really grated on me hearing it first thing every morning. So I got to the point where I couldn't stand it. But I found myself singing it in the shower while I was getting ready for work because it was stuck in my head. And then things got worse because they stopped playing Golden Girls at 6 in the morning and they started playing the George Lopez show.
Oh, God.
hated
Which
George.
I have
show
lamented on our
sucks.
show before. It's one of the worst shows ever made, and it made me really, really miss the Golden Girls because now I was waking up to George Lopez every morning. So since that time, I've developed a fondness for the show, and especially the song, which is really catchy. And to be honest, I don't hate the show nearly as much as I used to. It's really funny sometimes, and I really love the song. So Golden Girls, that is my number 4 theme song of all time. All right, Kate, what do you got for number 4?
There's 104 days.
I couldn't find the real version.
That's fine.
This is the original song. Like, the original
Phineas
song.
and Ferb, right?
Yeah.
So another animated song. Are all of yours animated?
No.
This is a great song, though.
Yeah, no.
It does sound different than the...
This is the original song by Bowling for Soup.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was by Bowling for Soup. They must have written it for this show because it's very specific to like things they do in the show.
Yeah.
You know the words, Chet?
Yeah.
You guys used to watch the show a lot.
I just rewatched the whole thing.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. All 4 seasons.
Oh, do all 4 seasons take place over the one summer?
Yeah, but like the Christmas special happens during Christmas time.
Right.
It's like, I guess it's in the future, I guess.
So for the listeners who aren't familiar with the show, it's essentially about 2 brothers, Phineas and Ferb, who spend an entire summer having adventures, right?
Yeah.
Every day is something different.
And by far the best kids show Star Wars like special episode.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. They have
It is
some
so
They have
good.
some really cool Star Wars stuff on that show. The whole show is just, it's very, very clever. I really liked it when you guys started watching that show because when you're a parent and you have kids that watch little kids shows, a lot of them are not, entertaining, but that one was, and it was very clever the way they did it. I really supported your guys' fandom of that show, so that's a good one.
They have a lot of things, where like some TV shows, like one thing will happen in the show and it happens every episode in the show.
Yeah.
There's like 20 of those things in the show.
Yeah.
And it's like you're waiting for it to happen. You know it's gonna happen, but like you're waiting for that one time where it doesn't be like, oh, it didn't happen.
Right, like when because their sister tries to bust them on every episode for
Yeah.
whatever huge adventure they're having, and she fails every time because at the last second when she's like, "Mom, come look," like everything's back to normal somehow, magically.
Because it's like kind of like where it shows like what the kids are doing, and then it shows like what Perry's doing, and like somehow what Perry's doing interferes with what they're doing, and in the end, what Perry does has an effect on what they do, and it like makes it disappear.
Right, because Perry is like an undercover
secret agent.
He's a platypus that fights evil, basically.
He
And,
works
Sounds
for
kinda silly.
he works for the company Alka.
and somehow his missions always like intertwine with what they're doing, even though they're unaware that he's doing all
And
that. They
they're
think
always-
he's just a pet platypus.
And they always say, Where's Perry? And it always shows him getting the hat.
right.
He has like a new entrance to get into the secret lair, to the Alka headquarters. And I never knew what Alka stood for, but apparently it means the organization without the cool acronym.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that's a great show. The evil guy, whatever his name is, he's
Dr.
Dr.
Doofenshmirtz.
Doofenshmirtz.
Doofenshmirtz. Yeah, he's a great character too. He's
love him.
really funny.
I told Cade that. He's really funny.
Yeah, he's great. Okay, cool. That's that was your number 3, right?
Yeah, overall, probably my favorite show ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
For
okay.
animated.
Animated, yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. All right, Jet. What's your number 3?
Hey, everybody, it's me, Mickey Mouse. Say,
Wow.
inside my-
What?
The Mickey Mouse Club? Are you fast forwarding?
well, all right, let's go. With me.
It's the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Oh yeah, this one's good.
You guys liked, or I know one of you really liked
I
the
did.
show. Was it you?
I could watch it.
I watched Blue Clues all the time, but when it wasn't on, I would put on Mickey Mouse and I'd always sing the theme song.
Okay.
This has a special place in my heart. But Blue's Clues didn't really have a theme song. He just said something.
Blues Clues.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. I mean, I like this a lot better.
Yeah. Wow. This is an unexpected choice. I have some that I wrote down that I thought Jet's going to pick for sure, and you haven't even touched any of them yet. So you're missing something that I think you're going to regret.
Don't worry.
This
now,
show
when we get to
came out
3,
during the era
This is
of like
3.
the 3D animation.
Yeah.
Kind of really, we would say it looks really bad now,
Yeah.
but like that was like a good one for the time.
That show was that's another one that I didn't mind watching with you guys. I mean, it was babyish for sure, but I mean, at least I knew who the characters were, and it was like a good wholesome show.
I never
suppose,
knew
for
who the
little
characters
kids.
were. Like, who's Mickey Mouse? I've never heard of that name. I mean, like,
I know Mickey Mouse, Goofy, Donald Duck, that girl.
Hey,
girl Mickey.
you said Donald Duck.
Donald the Duck.
You didn't say Donald the Duck.
I only say Daffy the Duck.
Oh, that's just as weird.
Daffy the Duck sounds
Daffy the Duck.
fits better.
All right, you guys ready for my number 3?
Mm-hmm.
You'll recognize it instantly.
X-Files.
X-Files.
X-Files, yeah. This one is another one, like, as soon as you hear it, you know exactly what show it goes to.
God, I'm telling you, you always watched X-Files, and I walked into your room one time, and I had the same nightmare over and over again of one episode where this guy and this girl, they're in the bed, and then the next day the girl's like head is backwards and all. It freaks me out.
Well, that's the thing. That show is pretty creepy, right?
That
And
was terrifying.
I think that this theme song has like the perfect amount of creepiness to go along with the show. Like, you hear this song and you know what it is, and it gets you in the mood to watch the show, because it is perfectly aligned with how creepy the show is. It sets the tone, and I love that about that song. Instantly recognizable too. So that is my number 3 theme song of all time.
Good pick.
Thanks. All right, Kate, what do you got for number 2?
All right, since I had to include some like diversity and something that's totally different from everything others, anime.
So this is Dead Man Wonderland.
Yeah.
We've talked about this show before on our show. This is an anime show that was recommended to us by a good friend of ours, Sherveen Alavi, and his son Noah. And we started watching it together, and we all liked it. And then you guys decided to binge watch the whole thing one day when I was at work, and I had to catch up on my own later.
It was really
We
good.
couldn't help ourselves.
It's the only anime show I've ever seen. I guess I'm not much of an anime fan, but this show was really good though.
There's a lot of other anime shows that are meh. Like Dragon Ball Z. Don't watch it.
I mean that's anime influenced. I don't think it's a true anime show. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's kind of a cool like rock song to go along with the show, and the show's pretty violent, so it kind of fits. That's cool.
The intro is really cool, and it goes with the song too. That's why I like it.
Yeah. Nice. All right, Jet, what's your number 2? I knew this was one of them that I was sure was going to be on your list. The Stranger Things.
I love this song also.
Great song. I didn't put it on my list because I already had the X-Files and it's kind of similar, but also
Do you like the
because
X-Files one better?
it's tough. I think they're both like perfect for the show.
I
Because
love this.
this show is also kind of creepy. It's supposed to be a little scary, and it's also very 80s, and this sounds very 80s synthesizer, like really laying
I
it
love
on.
the
Really
80s.
heavy synthesizer.
Yeah, and it's a great. I mean, it's a great song. This is one of the shows like X-Files. When I watch it, I don't skip the intro. I watch it because I enjoy the
Yeah,
song.
but like some of them, I get kind of annoyed from the intro. Like The Simpsons, I'll skip the intro.
Yeah, but-
Family Guy, I'll skip the intro.
Yeah, but this one I don't. That's my
Yeah.
point, because it gets you like ready to see the show, right?
Gets you pumped up.
We got season 3 coming up in a few months. You guys excited for
2019.
it?
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, me too. Good one, Jed. I was hoping you'd have that because I left it off my list because I assumed you would have it.
All right.
All right,
moving on.
moving on. My number 2 is another one. This is probably, in my opinion, the most famous theme song ever, probably.
Whoa!
And Jed, if you went and looked at lists, this was probably number 1 on most of the lists. So I'll just go ahead and play it.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break
Recognize it?
from all your
It sounds kind of
worries
familiar.
sure would help
I'll wait till it gets to the
a lot.
chorus because it's very famous.
Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name,
No?
What is it? I know it.
and they're always glad you came.
You don't know this song for real.
What does it say? It.
Cheers is the show, but you've never heard the song?
I've heard the song before. Somewhere.
You
I know
wanna
the show.
go where
I know the
everybody
song.
knows
I know
your name.
Okay, well, this song is, in my opinion, and I would say a majority of the internet's opinion, the best theme song ever. And I did have it as my number 1 initially, and I only changed it. Well, I'll tell you why I changed it when I get to my number 1. But when I looked at some lists too, because I like to look at lists, like I come up with my list, then I go look on the internet to see what did I forget about, right?
Or what do they say?
Yeah, just how does my list stack up? And oh man, I got to include this. I can't believe I forgot this. So I went and looked at some, and this was number 1 on virtually every list, like all of them. And it means it's probably a good choice to have on here, but it's also something I typically avoid on my list because I like to talk about different things.
Is this one of the songs where the theme song, the show is okay? But
No, the show is amazing. It might be the best sitcom of all time. And we'll do our
You
own.
said the Goldbergs by far.
I said might be. And we're going to do a sitcoms list at some point. And it's going to be tough
Oh,
for me.
I could do that.
It's going to be
I
tough
could
for
too.
me to.
I know like 4.
Well, I know a lot more because sitcoms used to rule TV for a while. But I figured I would include this one on the list because, one, it's a great song and I love it. It perfectly fits the show. It's memorable and really easy to sing along to, as you just heard me doing. And it doesn't hurt that the show is really great too. But I knew you guys wouldn't have it, so I thought it'd be safe to put on here for my number 2 theme song of all time. Cheers.
I wonder what's number 1. I know mine.
Jet, you're gonna love my number 1.
I'm mad.
Why are you mad?
This show made me hate everything. Not this show. I mean, doing this list made me hate everything. I had to leave out things, and I couldn't choose between my number 1, between 2 songs, and I hate everything. Okay? So,
that's
this
very
is-
emo.
these are the 2 songs that I chose for, okay? I'll play a little clip from each one, okay?
Okay. Okay, I knew you were. This is iCarly.
Yeah, this is the one I was contemplating for my first one.
This is what I thought you would pick as your number 1.
Yeah, okay? But I don't know if it's better than Victorious.
Okay, so I thought about this one too, but I thought for sure you'd pick iCarly.
I don't know. I call this better show, but
Honestly,
I don't know between the 2 songs.
iCarly's a way better
So I
show,
came
but
up-
Victoria has a way better theme song.
See, I think it's the opposite.
No.
I think iCarly is kind of a stupid show, but it has a really catchy theme song.
I get Victorious has a pretty
Okay,
good show.
okay.
now.
Before you guys say anything, though, I came up with the Great Compromise.
Okay, is it a mashup?
Yeah, they mixed the shows together at one episode, so I'm just gonna play the song. That's my number 1. That's 2 shows, okay?
I like that. That's clever.
It doesn't really matter. Like they have spin-offs with them too all the time.
Yeah,
Like
they
half
were.
of the
These
time.
both of these were Nick Jr. or Nick
Teen.
Teen. Okay, and oh yeah, I hear they mixed it up.
Yeah.
that's cool.
This happened in the show when they were singing together, and it really cheesy and corny, but like, I have to because I can't choose between the two.
Yeah.
And it really hurts. So I found out this is a good idea. I think this is the first time this has happened like this.
Go ahead, Jet.
Victoria definitely wins. They had one episode exactly like The Breakfast Club, but like more kiddie version.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
See, I thought the Victoria show was better. I just like the song from iCarly better. But I used to watch the show with you guys too because I spend a lot of time with you guys, right? In general, so I'm gonna see a lot of the same things you see. And Kate, you were really into iCarly for a while, and Victoria's came on, and I thought you were kind of getting to that age where it's like you start to like girls, and Victoria's has some pretty girls on it. Victoria is really pretty, and Kat on the show is Ariana Grande before she was Ariana Grande.
I like iCarly a lot better than Victoria's the show.
I think you watched it more.
Kat was one of my favorites, but when I turned out it was Ariana Grande, and she was kind of a brat in real life.
Yeah.
She was ruined for me.
She was really likable when she was young on that show. She was like cute and funny and had and like personable. She had her own YouTube channel that we used to watch, and she would impersonate famous singers, and she was really good, and she just had a fun personality. Then she became really famous and became like a total diva, and really had a lot of attitude, and she wasn't nearly as likable. But
that's sad. I would have liked it.
It happens.
Yeah, but I thought I liked this one. I like my choice.
The mashup is actually really good. I'm enjoying it. So it might be the best of both worlds. I think you did a good job not picking one of them.
Because I would be like, okay, I'm doing iCarly, but I'm like, I feel bad though for leaving off Victoria's. This is a good song, and then I'd be like, okay, Victoria's is a better theme song, but iCarly, I can't leave that off because I love that show. So it's like, okay, I know what to do.
Didn't one of the characters from iCarly, Sam, do a show with Kat?
Sam and Kat.
Sam and
they
Kat,
combined
Which absolutely was the worst shows.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Was it bad? Okay,
but I mean, it had its funny moments.
Okay. Well, I like it. That's a good choice, Kate. All right, Jet, what's your number one? Okay, this is another one I thought Jet would have for sure.
Yeah.
This I love this theme song more so because what it means. Like you told me, it's a mouse theme. You talk about space and how the what's it called, the Alliance? Yeah.
Yes.
How they can't take their ship.
So this is Firefly, for those who don't know, because a lot of people haven't seen this show, even though they should. It's maybe the best show ever.
Yeah.
Only one season plus a movie. And it's funny because we started watching this show, and I told you guys, I remember I was singing the theme song because I'd already seen it a couple times. And you're like, this song's weird. This is not a good song. And I'm like, trust me, by like episode 4 or 5, you're going to be singing it with me, and you absolutely were.
Yeah.
And now it's your number
loved
one.
it. But yeah, this is definitely my number one.
Yeah, everyone needs to watch this show.
It's got to be. I mean, it has a very strong like cult following of people who love the show, and they always will. But it's held within that bubble. It doesn't have a big time following outside of that. But yeah, great show, and of course the song is.
Yeah,
is
like
really
Star Wars. Like
Yes.
barely anyone saw The Force Awakens when it came out. I mean, like it didn't break any like significant records.
Do you think that the Avengers Infinity Wars is going to break the domestic box office record, Force Awakens?
I hope not.
It broke the opening weekend record.
I know, and it really annoys me.
It probably won't. A lot of people are trying to spoil me, but
I usually like every movie that I watch. Sorry, Jet, but I usually like every movie I watch. But there are some Marvel movies I just didn't like.
Yeah,
I
some
agree.
some of them just don't hit the mark.
But
I mean, the first Avengers was cool.
I don't
liked
think
it.
any of them are bad. I just think some of them are
Overrated.
They're not great, you know. But they've made like 18 of them. Some of them are going to be ranked 8, 16, 17, 18 out of those 18.
And Ryan Reynolds is Green Lantern, Deadpool, and one of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
I can't get over Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern. To me, he doesn't fit at all.
That
I don't think
was
Green
a
Lantern-
horrible
I
movie.
don't think Green Lantern should have got a movie.
Yeah, but that's not. But see, the thing is, like, when Marvel started making movies, they came out with Iron Man, and most people would have said, I don't think Iron Man should have a movie. He's not one of the big characters. And it kind of started the whole snowball
Guardians
now.
of the Galaxy.
Where it was so successful and it was so good that now Thor has a movie, and the Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man, and they're good. They're good movies. Doctor Strange. And it all kind of started with Iron Man being so successful. So, yeah.
Do you think anyone
How did we
else...
get onto this? Oh, we
I
started
don't know.
talking about box office.
Do you think anyone else could have played Iron Man better than Robert Downey Jr.?
He fits that character so well, Tony Stark. It's hard to see anybody else doing
Robert
it. But
Downey Jr., I think.
That's the actor of Tony Stark. But Jed and I, we looked at this this internet thing that somebody did on Facebook where it had if Marvel movies
Oh, you
took
did
place
that
in the
too?
80s and 90s. I showed it to you.
Oh,
remember?
yeah, you did.
And it had Tom Cruise as Tony Stark, which would have
would
been
be
interesting.
amazing.
It had Brad Pitt as Thor.
Which is awesome.
I mean, that's what I meant, but the
Yeah.
Brad Pitt one.
And there were some that were really good. They lost me when they had Brendan Fraser as Star-Lord because
You don't
is
like Brendan Fraser?
horrible. He is horrible.
Is he worse than
Yes.
the actor for
Yes.
Captain America?
Yes. Yes, the actor for Captain America is not a bad actor. I just don't like him. Brendan Fraser is bad. He's a bad actor. Anyway, moving on. Jet, Firefly, you're number one. I like it. That was another one I thought for sure you'd have on your list.
Yeah,
So,
and
okay.
it definitely was.
Gotcha. All right, here's my number one. And Jed, you're going to love this.
Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Just take a look. It's in a book. A reading rainbow.
So I had to put this number one because Jet kind of hates this show.
Why you hate this? Was awesome.
Because two things. The kids always just ruin this, and it's just always ruined by kids. Second thing, when I watched it, it was so stupid. It was just like, how much people are in New York? And then they did some crap with.
So you learned some
calculating.
fun fact about how to calculate how many people are in New York. You thought it was stupid?
Okay,
Yes.
one day when you say like there's so many kids and the kids ruin everything, this show was like played in like schools a lot because it was like an educational show. They're not gonna just put a bunch of adults in an educational show. They're probably gonna put
Okay,
kids.
yeah, well, I don't care because they had some better educational shows like Magic School Bus or Kind of Bill Nye.
That's an honorable
Kind
mention
of.
for me.
So I love this show and the song. So let me just start there. But we got to watch this show when I was in school, and when we did, it was a good day for sure. Like we all had a good day when we got to watch Reading Rainbow. Probably just behind Field Day and the last day of school. Those are better days, but it was up there. It was one of those really good days when you got to watch Reading Rainbow. And I had a few other options that evoked like a very specific nostalgic reaction from my childhood, like He-Man. Obviously, I was really into that show when I was really little, and it's a good song. And Mr. Rogers is another one, Sesame Street, those kind of shows. But this song, the Reading Rainbow song, just kind of drips with nostalgia for me. So
Did you know Mr. Bean drives a McLaren?
that's has a very special place in my heart. No, I did not know Mr.
bad pig.
Bean drove a McLaren. That's
F1.
very random. What does that have to do with Reading Rainbow or
Well,
any?
you thought of shows like that. I was like, I feel like Mr. Bean's like a guy like that, where people like Mr. Bean a lot. I was like, you know what? He drives a McLaren F1. You would think he'd drive some Volkswagen bug thing,
That's interesting.
but he has like a really cool car collection too.
Oh, we should point out, I don't have my typical gear. That's why we don't have the sound bumpers like
Yeah.
number 4, number 1. We don't have any of those. We're kind of winging it this week, so hang with us. But we should move on to honorable mentions. Cade, did you have any honorable mentions you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I did, and I have a bunch of them, but I put a little winky face next to the ones I wanted to mention. I had the Wizards of Waverly Place with Selena Gomez.
Okay. I kind of remember that show.
Pokemon.
You used to sing that. In fact, you used to sing it on this show, on our podcast, several times.
I know. They've kind of fallen off. It's like,
You went through a really, you were really into it when the Pokemon Go became a big thing.
and then I tried getting into the games.
Yeah, you collected some of the cards, and you tried to watch the shows on YouTube.
Yeah, because they were on Netflix, but they had like the first 2 seasons, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Pokemon got a good.
Yeah, it's
I think
catchy.
Spencer Lee would agree with me.
Yeah, yes.
I had Big Time Rush.
I thought you might pick that one too. I thought about
It's a
that.
good one.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that one at my school. It's like one of those things. Like if you sing that song, you're instantly like have new friends.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And Drake and Josh.
Oh
Bill
yeah, you watched Drake and Josh a lot.
Yeah.
I also watched it sometimes.
Pickle and Peanut.
Don't know that one.
It's an awesome show.
But you thank God you don't know that one. Bill Nye, and that was it.
Bill Nye. Nice. Okay. Jed, did you have any honorable mentions?
No.
Oh, and Friends too. I forgot to mention that when we had it on my top 5.
Jed, I'm going to play you a song that it's one of the ones I wrote down that I thought for sure Jed would have it on his list, and you didn't.
What is it?
Hold on, let me pull it up here on YouTube so I can.
Is it Vikings?
Yes.
I thought it was gonna. I was really thinking about it, but it was coming down to that or Stranger Things, and I picked Stranger Things.
Well, you had had like 3 others on your list that you could have knocked off. I mean, this song is freaking awesome. I was going to put it on mine, but I thought Jet would have it for sure.
I should have put it on.
I mean, this song is like, it's one of those songs that first of all, it's like badass. Like, I love getting ready in the morning and showering to this song because it makes me feel like I'm going to go out and just like conquer the world, number one. And number two, it is like you hear this song and you're like, okay, I'm about to watch Vikings. This is going to be awesome.
I can't believe I didn't put this on. I thought it was going to be too, like, Dad and kid will already know this would be on my list. So I chose Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, you picked Mickey Mouse over Vikings. Come on, man. You love this show.
But yeah, we should watch season 5 soon.
Who'd win in a fight?
Between who?
Mickey Mouse and Ragnar.
Ragnar? I think Ragnar would win. So, yeah, Jet, come on, man. I think you dropped the ball on that one.
I won't spoil Vikings, but I'm going to watch season 5 for sure.
So you're going to watch season 5?
Yeah, but the best seasons are season 4, the second half of season 4 for sure, because that counts as a season because it still was long.
Yeah?
And season 2 or 1, I don't know. Season 1 was probably a little bit better than season 2 in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, they were all good. The beginning was better for me.
For season 4?
No, I'm saying seasons 1 and 2 were better than 3 and 4.
3 was my least favorite. 4, the second half is where they're all grown up, and I really like that.
All right, well, I'm just surprised you didn't have it on your list. That's all. Okay, I had a couple honorable mentions that I wanted to bring up. We already talked about Firefly, so I'll leave that one off. But I had this one, which I thought would be good. You guys should recognize it. It would help if I turn the volume up. Jeopardy.
Oh, dude, you should put this on.
This is by far the best game show to ever exist, and has probably the best theme song too.
Me over and pour me out.
It does kind of sound like that. I never thought about that.
Sounds exactly
before.
like that.
So that was an honorable mention for me with Jeopardy, and
that was a lot. Like on the list I looked online, Jeopardy was like all up there.
Yeah, it's a very popular show and theme song. This is another game show that I watched when I was a kid, so you guys won't recognize it, but I loved the theme song. Yeah. Well, she sneaks around the It's called. Actually, I'll let the chorus tell you the name of the song. But this was a game show I watched when I was in elementary school, and I was confident that if I was on it, I would have won for sure.
Do you think you would have to this day? So?
In the world is Carmen Sandiego.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Yeah, I would have won this show. And this is what happened. Okay, I was in 3rd grade. I lived in Pennsylvania, and I don't know if I watched this yet. Maybe not yet. I think it was like the next year I started watching it in 4th grade. But I moved and I started watching this show, and I knew all the answers all the time. It was mostly about geography and history, and I just knew a lot of the stuff. So
where in the world is?
You had to figure out these clues to figure out where Carmen Sandiego was, and the clues were academic based. Like you had to be able to.
Why Carmen Sandiego?
Carmen Sandiego is the name of the bad guy that you're trying to catch. She's all around the world committing crimes. You have to solve the crimes and catch her.
It's cool.
Do you win money or a car if you do?
I don't know. It was some prize made for kids. Like you would win a computer or something. Car. No, not a car. My point is, I would always think, man, I would win this show. Then when I was in 5th grade, I was watching, and I saw a kid who I knew on the show from when I lived in Pennsylvania, and he won, and I was way smarter than that kid, and I was so annoyed. I was like, why can't I get on this show?
Did you beg your parents, can I go on Carmen Sandiego?
You should try to get on now.
I don't think it exists anymore, but I did play the computer game, and I was really good at that too. So that was an honorable mention for me. And then this one, I had a really hard time leaving off my list.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song.
I know the song.
What is it?
I will try not to sing out of key.
This is from the show Wonder Years, which you would recognize the actor, Jet. The actor, the kid, his name's Kevin Arnold in the show, and it's what he's most known for. But where you would know him from is he's the boy on The Princess Bride.
Oh, he is?
Also in Little Monsters.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking
about? Also Boba Fett.
What? No, I don't think he's Boba Fett.
The prequels.
No, that's not him. His name is Fred Savage, and that show was, I mean, it wasn't a comedy. It was, so I wouldn't call it a sitcom, but it was about a family, and it was told like there was a narrator, kind of like in The Sandlot. It had an adult narrator talking about his life as a kid. And it was a really like touching show. And his girlfriend, Winnie Cooper, was the girl that every boy was in love with when I was growing up. And that song was a great intro song.
What's that girl's name from that teenage movie where that guy goes, Amanda?
Amanda. That's Can't Hardly Wait.
The girl?
The girl is Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Dang. I was close to Winnie Cooper.
Winnie Cooper was the character's name. Amanda was the character's name and Can't Hardly Wait for the actress Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I want to watch that movie.
Okay. You saw part of it, right?
Yeah, it was weird. The guy said, "Take me down to Paradise City." He was singing it.
Nerd. The nerd
and
guy.
And he was crazy, and they all fall. It looks really cheesy. I want to watch it.
It is really cheesy. The first line in that movie is, did you hear Chris Moore's wearing nothing underneath his graduation gown?
Really?
Yeah. That's the first line of the movie. They used my name. I thought it was cool. All right, anyways, Cade, what's the worst?
The worst. This song left a bad taste in my mouth, and it got remixed a bunch of times, and it got really annoying, and like I didn't like hearing the song before, but
Boy.
Sorry, I had the volume down.
Caillou.
Yeah.
Dude, same here.
This is your worst also?
this sucks.
So
This show
bad.
sucks. I hated when you guys would watch
Because
this show.
I didn't really watch it. I didn't.
Caillou is such a brat.
I was about to say, he's a freaking brat.
As a parent, I would watch this show and I would think, "Oh my gosh, I
I'm gonna
hope my
smack that kid
2-year-old."
with a
No,
knife.
I would not think smack that kid. I would think, I hope my 2-year-old who's watching this, I hope he doesn't think this is the way you're supposed to act, because Caillou is a brat. You guys were actually really easy as babies and little kids in general to parent.
Caillou
You
wasn't.
never really threw fits. You never gave me a lot of attitude, or your mom. You never were really bratty at all. You were really good kids. I'm very lucky. However, I would get scared when you'd watch that show because I would think, oh my gosh, they're going to start acting like
Caillou.
I think I know the
And-
words. I'm not sure.
And like that kid, like that song was remixed, and everyone listened to it. It was really cringy and annoying, and like really only like the younger, like the 7th graders, they love that. Like when it came out like last semester, like in December, October, someone remixed it and got real popular.
Yeah.
And it was really annoying. And then
like the yodeling kid.
Yeah, and so when things get annoying, people start to make memes about it.
Yeah.
And since the kid's a little kid, the memes are like really messed up because it's all about a little kid. Like if it was about like some like random like show, I don't know, it'd be okay. But this kid's a little kid.
Yeah.
And they're making memes, and it is like really, really bad.
I really
I
do
gotcha.
hate memes.
Some of them are really funny, and some of them are just obnoxious. I hear you. All right, my worst. I had 3 that I was considering. 2 of them. One of them is Frasier, which some people voted as the best. I don't have it queued up, so I'm not going to play it. I really don't like that song or that show, so that was one that I considered. But the one I picked, when I hear this song, I kind of rage a little bit, and I never liked the show, and especially the song. I'll just play it. You recognize this?
No.
It's from a show called 2.5 Men. It was about 2 guys. Charlie Sheen, the actor who's Wild Thing,
Oh,
Ricky
yeah.
Vaughn.
Yeah, I've seen
And-
like a commercial for it.
Yeah, and this other guy who's he was actually Ducky in John Hughes' movie Pretty in Pink, and this kid who they're like raising together, I guess. And it's a comedy, it's a sitcom show. But I would hear that song and I would just get angry and turn it
Dude,
off. or
why?
change it up.
I thought you would like. I thought it'd be George Lopez. That show
Now,
sucks.
I hate the show, but I don't mind the song.
You don't mind the song?
The song's fine. It's actually it's like a sampling of a very famous song from the 70s.
Because like that song, I don't like it. Because like whenever I remember, like, oh, I hate the show.
I don't mind the song, but I hate the show. This one, I don't really know the show because I never watched it, but I hate the song, so I would change it immediately. It just got on my nerves. So that was my worst. All right, so now we're going to go to our sections that we usually have up at the beginning, and we'll go through these pretty quickly. I think we should start with listener choices, and I don't have the bumper, so pew, 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 pew. Listener choices. Pew. That's the sound, right?
I know how to. I know how to do the pew 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 pew.
Listener choices. Pew. Okay. So we asked social media, what is your favorite TV theme song? And fortunately, we have such an awesome listening audience that we got a ton of really awesome responses. And I'll just list the top 5 here because there were a ton. But tied for 4th and 5th was Cheers and Golden Girls, 2 shows that were on my list. Tied for 2nd was Friends and Saved by the Bell. And I considered Saved by the Bell too because I love that show and that theme song like brings back memories for me, but I did not include it. But number 1, and it wasn't really that close, and I'm just going to play it for you, and you'll probably recognize this. This is the number 1 song according to our listeners.
Now this is a story all about how
Fresh
my
Prince.
life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel
I
Air.
was thinking about this one.
Everybody knows this song. To be honest, like Will Smith is a rap artist.
He's really good at rapping.
No, he's not. That's my point. He was a rap artist before he became an actor, and he became a big-time movie star, and he would still release rap albums every now and then, and they were really bad. This is his best song, actually, because it's catchy, and everybody knows all the words, and most people like it. I didn't consider it for my list because there are other songs that just resonate more with me, but this was the number 1 choice according to our listeners, The Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
I actually really love the show. I watched it once. It was really funny. They were
It
like
is
trying
funny.
to get a pie slice, and they were sneaking around the kitchen, and then this old lady came and got really mad and hit him with the shoe.
Yeah. I mean, it's a funny show. There were a couple other choices that I thought were interesting. DuckTales got a couple votes, which
DuckTales.
that has a great
Woo.
theme song. Jet, one that I'm surprised you didn't consider was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because
I did consider that. But
you love that song. SpongeBob got a couple votes. Kate, I'm surprised I didn't make yours.
I like the show's amazing and everything about it. The songs are amazing. Just the theme song's just okay. I mean, it's like whatever.
Okay, I'm surprised.
I mean, like I had it on my list at first. I was like, oh, theme songs. First one that comes to my head, SpongeBob. I was like, but the theme songs was like great, and like all the other ones are like awesome songs and stuff. So I was like,
Katie Pickering Fulmer, one of our listeners, she gave us a lot of really interesting choices. One of them was Perfect Strangers, which you guys aren't familiar with that show, but I love that theme song. I considered it for mine. She also gave us Reading Rainbow, which, of course, I appreciated. And a Punky Brewster, which Jedi played for you prior to the show.
Me, yeah.
It has a great theme song, and I had a big-time crush on Punky Brewster when I was growing up. So I thought that was cool. Jet, your cousin, kind of, Iris, she picked The Office. So she had one that was similar to yours there. Casey King picked Vikings.
that's a good
Does
one.
he watch that?
Yeah, he loves Vikings.
Okay, Dad, what's your favorite scene from The Office?
Parkour.
Parkour?
So funny.
Oh,
Parkour
I
or the
remember
fire
parkour.
scene?
Yeah.
The fire drill?
That's really funny,
It's just,
too.
take the cat! She throws it in the ceiling and it falls at the other side.
You've shown me parkour. Like at first, I thought it was like some made up YouTube video.
Oh my gosh, I was laughing literally laughing out loud, which I don't do a lot at TV shows.
They were like, just jump, and he jumped through the box.
I'm gonna do Gator, backflip to a backfall off onto the trash can, and he jumps off and falls in the first box.
All right, well, I think it's time for Glenn Solomon Fun Fact of the Week.
Pew 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 pew.
Wow.
My number 5 choice, which was Growing Pains, featured an actor who was the father of Jason Seaver. The actor's name was Alan Thicke. You're probably not familiar with him. However, you probably are familiar with his son, Robin Thicke.
Oh.
Blurred Lines. Okay. So anyway, Alan Thicke was also pretty musically talented, and I didn't know that as a kid, but I always pictured it was him singing that song the first one that I played. The Growing Pains song. When you'd hear the intro, I just pictured him singing it. He didn't, but the fun fact is he did write theme songs for 2 other very popular sitcoms in the 80s, The Facts of Life and Different Strokes. And he even sang the song for Different Strokes. So I thought that was interesting. Maybe not to you guys since you don't know who he is, but for our listeners, they might appreciate that.
Okay.
I did have that one queued up on YouTube there.
That
So,
was it.
Jet, do you have a pun for this week? Did you come up with one? That's a no. So we'll just move on. That's fine. We'll go on to feedback. Good. Good. I even said that in the recording, I think. Good. Just a couple things to know. This will go by really quickly. We collabed with Cinematically Correct podcast on our Thor Ragnarok review, and they tweeted after our Ready Player One review, "Thank you for your review of Ready Player One. We are now buying the book." So that's pretty cool, and I hope that they enjoy it as much as we did, since we all loved it.
They will. It's a great book.
It is a great book, and we should add that you had written in the back of the inside cover that it was the best book ever, and Jet, you also wrote something.
I wrote best book, and I had like one of the visors that they put on.
Yeah, so we all really liked it. And you finished that book, right?
Yeah. I did. Katie also drew a picture of like a Godzilla with an AK-47 or something.
I doodled a lot in class.
You can actually draw pretty well when you want to, even though you can't write for crap. You have like the worst handwriting of anybody I've ever met.
But when we're like, okay, when we're doing STAR tests, the teachers tell, like the cool teachers, they're like, if you need to take a break, doodle, go to the bathroom, get a drink. You don't even have to. You guys always do it anyway.
Yeah.
And so he's like, just take a break. So I was like, you know what? I've been working a lot, so I started doodling. This was in like 6th grade or whatever. And I was drawing like zombies and getting killed by lightsabers, whatever I was thinking of, right?
Right.
And my teacher comes over, who I didn't really like that much, and she was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm taking a break. I haven't been answering all questions. She goes, get back to work. I'm like, you don't have the authority over this. You can't tell me we have 4 hours to take this test, and you're telling me I can't, take a little break or whatever. I'm pretty much done with the test. I'm just doodling because I have the paper right now.
Yeah.
She got really mad at me for doodling after I was finished with the test.
Your teacher said you draw horses on your test. They're ponies.
What's that from? That sounds familiar.
The Never-Ending Story.
Oh, that's right. Nice. Good one, Jet. You're always pulling out those obscure 80s references. I love it.
Sure.
I also wanted to note that we were recently added to the Podknife network of podcasts, which is a great place to discover and rate independent podcasts. So shout out to Podknife. Thank you for adding us. That was a nice surprise. And lastly, I wanted to give a shout out to listener Gail Rudd Kolodny. You've heard her name a lot on the listener choices. We always talk. She always gives us a lot of options. And when we are on our down periods, I get messages from certain people. Hey, where's the show? What are you guys doing? Gail is always one of them. Did I miss this? She'll comment, did I miss this show? I've been waiting for a new show to come out. And every show we have, she's always, oh, yes, I can't wait to listen to it and have my son listen to it. So really, really appreciate that. Thank you for being a loyal listener. And
shout out.
And shout out to Gail Rudd Kolodny for that. Also, thanks to everybody for taking the time to listen. Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/5to1podcast or tweet us at 5to1podcast. And we have an Instagram account with the same handle, so you can follow us there at 5to1podcast. Also, please leave us a review on iTunes if you can, because that helps our podcast to gain exposure. And that's a good thing, because then more people can listen to us. And we have had some new listeners. I've been seeing it in the download statistics. So that's awesome, and welcome to the show, and we hope you stick around.
Stick around.
You can also call us. It's a great way. We play voicemails on the show, and we love that. Our number is 469-607-5to1. That's 469-607-5861. And hey, Jet, why don't you tell everybody to please join us next time on 5to1 for our discussion on
Top 5 2017 movies.
Boom. 5to1, so it's guaranteed you can do.
Love you. Love you.
Love you.
Love you.